Welcome to Struggling to Succeed. My name is Stephen, and on this channel we discuss business philosophy and personal development techniques. This week we'll be discussing how reading one book a month changed my life. Let's get into it. How reading one book a month changed my life. Well, let's explore this a little bit further and start with a little bit of a backstory. About 4+ years ago, I could probably still count on two hands how many books I had actually read. And in my struggles to succeed and in my attempts to create a more productive life, I understood that my capabilities and my knowledge needed to grow, thus allowing me to develop in the areas that I felt were going to help me achieve a little bit more of a successful life. This led me to the conclusion that I needed to read a lot more books. I recently worked it out that I have been reading roughly one book a month over the last 4 years. My book reading has started to get a little faster, where I'm now averaging nearly 2 a month. However, when I first started out in my journey, so to speak, a number of years ago, I was not a very fast reader. In fact, reading was something that I had no real confidence in, and also I didn't really have the, a minute to 2 minute a page or less reading speeds that can be useful if you're trying to get through a lot of content. It was a skill and a habit that I wanted to build into my life. So I focused on setting myself short-term and long-term goals. One of the short-term techniques is to try to read anywhere between 5 to 20 pages every day. One of my long-term techniques was to first start with reading 12 books a year and then slowly build that number over time. Where this year I have set myself a goal of reading 24 books cover to cover, and that's not including audiobooks. And currently I'm on about 5 or 6, and we're about just over a quarter, between a quarter and a halfway through the year. So I'm a little bit off pace. So maybe I'll pick a few short books to help me get back on target. That's another technique. Pick books with big writing and not as many chapters. Joking, of course, but there are shorter books out there that can help, help puff or fluff out numbers to make you feel a little bit better. But that's what achieving goals is about, making yourself feel a little better about yourself. I have really found that introducing this technique has changed my life. Reading books specifically around philosophy, business, and personal development have ended up giving me a whole different outlook in life, and also has given me a extra tool to a lot of times when things start to happen in my life. Say, for instance, if they're going wrong, or for instance there's a project coming up and they need some ideas, all of a sudden I find myself pulling from these books that I've read to help me get through difficult times, or in a work situation or in a creative situation. I have developed the skill to be able to come up with ideas where I've read from business and personal development books, where like, hey, let's try this, and being able to speak to those subjects helps within those environments. Along with meditation, I have found some of the byproduct of reading is the ability to assess situations through the knowledge that you've gained. Through meditation, I'm able to review or assess my emotions as they come up: anger, jealousy, pain. When things go wrong, I have a little bit of extra room, a little bit of breathing space because of meditation to maybe just say, I don't want to get angry, or maybe I don't want to react to that right now. And I find the same with reading the books, reading the personal development books, reading the business and the philosophy strategies. and actually, using them. And I think that's the only way really to learn. It's all well and good reading a book a month, and it's all well and good having great reading skills and getting through a lot of content. However, I have a view that every time I pick up a book, I'm going to learn something that's going to shift my life forward. I don't just read a book for the sake of reading a book. I genuinely pick up that book and expect something in that book to help me develop in my life. I often take notes when I'm reading books, and I will often take my time reading a book if I find it extremely interesting. This is why when I read the odd book, it actually takes me a month or over a month just to read one book rather than getting through 2 or 3 in a month. Because if I find a book super interesting, I will slow down my reading process and maybe reread the odd page and take more notes, because you just don't want to read for the sake of reading. And that's how, in my struggles to succeed, reading has changed my life, because I've set out that prerequisite, that goal, that every time a book goes through my hands, I'm going to learn something that helps develop my life. Well, that's it from me this week. I hope you enjoyed the video and you find it helpful. If you did, please go ahead and hit the like button for me. Also, don't forget to subscribe to follow along and get lots more content on my journey struggling to succeed. Thanks very much for watching. Hope to see you next week. Make it a good one.